Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a crucial topic from the NCERT Class 11 textbook, Fundamentals of Physical Geography. We will be focusing on Chapter 6, Geomorphic Processes. This session is specially designed for all you aspirants preparing for the postgraduate teacher exams for NVS, KVS and EMRS and other central school examinations. I want to emphasize this point. For these competitive exams, you do not need to look beyond the NCERT textbooks. Their content is comprehensive, authoritative and perfectly aligned with the syllabus. We will be covering 100 of the most important questions and answers from this chapter, ensuring you have a strong grasp of every key concept. So let's begin. What are geomorphic processes? They are the natural forces that cause changes to the earth's surface. What are endogenetic processes? Processes originating from forces within the earth. What are exogenetic processes? Processes originating from forces on or above the earth's surface. Give examples of endogenetic processes: earthquakes, volcanoes and tectonic movements. Give examples of exogenetic processes: weathering, erosion and mass wasting. Which process cause upliftment of landforms? Endogenetic process. Which process causes the leveling of landforms? Exogenetic processes. What is weathering? The disintegration and decomposition of rock in situ or in place. How many types of weathering are there? 3 types: physical, chemical and biological. What are the causes of physical weathering? Temperature changes, frost action, salt crystallization and pressure release. What are the processes of chemical weathering? Solution, carbonation, hydration, oxidation and reduction. How does biological weathering occur? Through the activities of living organisms like plants and animals. What is mass movement? The downward movement of rock and soil due to the force of gravity. What are the causes of mass movement? Weakness of rock, angle of the slope and water content. Give the example of slow mass movement, that is soil creep. Give an example of a rapid mass movement, that is landslide and debris slide. What is erosion? The transportation of weathered materials by agents like water, wind or glaciers. What is deposition? The accumulation of eroded material in a new location. How do rivers cause erosion? Through abrasion, solution, attrition and hydraulic action. What are the erosional methods of glacier? Plucking and abrasion. What are the erosional methods of wind? Abrasion and deflation. Which rock type is weathered by the carbonation process? Limestone. What is exfoliation and what type of weathering is it? The peeling of rock layers, and it is a type of physical weathering. How are sinkholes formed? By process of carbonation, that is one of chemical weatherings. Why does exfoliation occur in granite rocks? Due to the pressure release from removal of overlaying layers. By what process does a river create a V-shaped valley? Vertical erosion. How does climate affect weathering process? It influences the rate and type of weathering depending on temperature and moisture. What is soil creep? The slow, gradual movement of soil down a slope. What is landslide? The sudden rapid movement of a mass of rock or debris down a slope. In which stage of its cycle does a river create floodplains? The old stage or lower course. What landforms does a river create in its middle course, meanders and oxbow lakes? What are the three stages of a river erosion cycle? Youth, mature and old. What are glacial sediments called? Till. Give examples of landforms created by glacial erosion, cirques, horn and U-shaped valleys. What is a landform created by glacial deposition, moraines and drumlins? Give an example of a landform created by wind in deserts, sand dunes, yerduns and inselberg. What is an inselberg? An isolated hill or rock outcrop in a desert or semi-desert region. Give examples of landforms created by sea waves, cliffs, beaches and sand arches. What role does water play in chemical weathering? It acts as a solvent. Which weathering process forms iron oxides? Oxidation, that is chemical weathering. Give examples of endogenetic processes. Volcanism, earthquakes, diastrophism. Give examples of exogenetic processes. Weathering, erosion, deposition, mass bursting. What are the three main exogenetic processes? Weathering, mass bursting and erosion deposition. What is diastrophism? Movements of earth crust due to tectonic forces. Which process is mainly responsible for leveling down of relief features? Exogenetic processes. Which process builds landforms? Endogenetic processes. What is weathering? Breakdown of rocks at or near the earth's surface by physical, chemical or biological processes. Does weathering involve transportation? No, it is in situ disintegration. What is physical weathering? Mechanical breakdown of rocks without chemical change. Mention any two agents of physical weathering, that is temperature changes and frost action. What is frost wedging? Frost wedging, breaking of rocks due to repeated freezing and thawing of water in cracks. What is exfoliation? Peeling of rock layers due to temperature variation. What is soil crystal growth? Expansion of salts in rock pores causing disintegration. What is chemical weathering? Decomposition of rocks by chemical reactions. Name 4 processes of chemical weathering: solution, carbonation, oxidation, hydrolysis. What is a solution? Dissolving of soluble minerals in water. What is carbonation? Reaction of carbonic acid with rocks like limestone. What is oxidation? Reaction of oxygen with minerals, that is rusting of iron. What is hydrolysis? Reaction of water with minerals forming clay. Which rock is highly affected by carbonation? Limestone. What is biological weathering? Disintegration of rocks by plants, animals and microbes. Give an example of biological weathering. Tree roots breaking rocks. Which type of weathering is most dominant in humid regions? Chemical weathering. Which type of weathering is dominant in arid regions? Physical weathering. What controls the rate of weathering? Climate and rock structure. What is mass bursting? Downhill movement of weathered material due to gravity. Is mass bursting assisted by transporting agents? No, it is gravity controlled. Name types of mass bursting: creep, landslides, rockfall, debris flow. What is soil creep? Slow movement of soil downhill. What is landslides? Sudden mass movement of soil or rock downslope. What is rockfall? Free fall of rock fragments from a cliff. What triggers landslides? Heavy rainfall, earthquakes, deforestation. Which slope material is prone to mass bursting? Loose, weathered material. What is solifluction? A flow of water saturated soil in periglacial regions. Which force drives mass bursting? Gravity. What is erosion? Removal of weathered material by natural agents. Name agents of erosion: running water, wind, glacier, waves. What is deposition? Accumulation of eroded material by agents. Which two processes work together to shape a landforms? Erosion and deposition. What is gradation? Leveling of land through erosion and deposition. Which agent of erosion is most widespread? Running water. Which agent is dominant in desert? Wind. Which agent dominates in polar regions? Glacier. What is wave erosion? Coastal erosion by sea waves. What is sediment? Material transported and deposited by agents. This completes our discussion of geomorphic processes from NCERT class 11. These questions and answers cover everything you need for postgraduate teacher geography exams like NVS, KVS, EMRS and other central competitive exams. If you revise this carefully, NCERT itself is enough. No extra books are required. Thank you for listening and best of luck.